All right, back now from another action-filled segment. Now, in this case, showcasing the impact that one has if you start to invite these things to go straight into you, which I wanted to write down. Don't do that. Do not have anything involving ghosts being invited or spirits or entities or whatever straight into you. I don't advise it. Nobody in our group advises it. In fact, we actually do a workaround, and that's where we invite these ghosts and spirits to use the equipment that we bring, whether it's draining the electricity or using the sound that the equipment makes, or even showing up like here in front of the TV. I'm sorry, in front of the phone, stuff like that. But do not invite anything inside you because, as you saw, that gentleman, you quickly noticed that he was being something like something was controlling him. He was being controlled by whatever it was as far as this black mist. So it's definitely something that we don't encourage on it, and I don't encourage at all. I will never do something like that, and I don't recommend it. Also, again, they did with the yelling and the commandments. That's something that we don't do when it comes to our own investigations. We don't encourage that either. That just entices things. Ghosts are actually uh, almost like people. Like if you treat them nicely, they tend to act nicely. If you yell at them and command them, what do you think will happen if you do that to a real person? That's the kind of stuff that we run into whenever we're doing investigations, and we love to criticize Zach for stuff like that too. I did see also that there was that creepy sensation where he was going, don't leave," and all those groans. That's what happens again when somebody invites that kind of stuff. I did have also an encounter where somebody invited someone else that committed suicide, the ghost of that person, to go into them. I saw this when I was at the paranormal con there in Tyler, Texas. At the end of the con night, we visited several locations that were haunted. One of them was a radio station that was actually held in an apartment complex, what used to be an apartment complex that is now a radio station. Well, in that room, someone there decided to hold like a seance, and they invited the spirit of someone that committed suicide in that room. Basically, in that room, they took a gun to their head and then decided to blow their brains out. And that ghost, whatever it was, still roams that radio station today. So I saw that happen as far as someone inviting a ghost over to inhibit them. And then you could kind of see change in the person, and then you could also have them like their mindset changed as well, and they took on the form inside of them, at least, of that ghost spirit. So that was a really really creepy experience. I would also encourage, as you saw that when he saw that that was happening to his brother, as far as getting possessed, I would encourage, like, he did the right thing to get them out, like take over and then get them out, because you don't want that kind of stuff to continue. That was creepy. We did that ourselves whenever we were in Yoakum Hospital last year or so. We went there, and it's an abandoned hospital that's severely haunted. In this case, it's haunted by a ghost, someone by the name of Edwin, or Edgar. We couldn't quite determine what the name of that ghost was, but there it was, and it started to mentally attack one of the investigators within our group. And so at a certain point we had to get them out, because we want to make sure that when these things have this kind of attack happening, you don't want it to damage, like to do bad things to too many people there within the investigation. And so we would take breaks and stuff like that to make sure that that person was not being impacted afterward too severely. So I'm glad that the brother was able to do that. And the Polaroids, it looks like they do work. They do capture that evidence. It reminded me, if you go to the Zach Baggins Museum, you'll see the infamous Polaroids of some lady. I can't remember her name, but she took Polaroids, and like somewhere behind her, you could see like some black shadow slowly come up. These were the Polaroids as she was dying in her last moment. She took pictures of herself as she was dying. And so those are her last moments, and something was coming up in terms of a form of black shadow. Creepy stuff. So it looks like Polaroids do work overall. I might try something like that and went on the next investigation. Looks like it started already, guys. I'll see you on the next break. Take care.